Welcome to Career Journeys, a series of videos by the Consortium for Public Education. Here we explore the career experiences and pathways of professionals from a wide variety of careers to help you think about the skills you'll need and the paths you might take after high school.
Hi, I'm Debbie Pixton with the Consortium for Public Education. Today I'm interviewing Baily Keilbach, a project engineer with Mascaro Construction, as part of our Career Journeys video series. Thank you for joining us, Baily.
Thanks for having me, Debbie. Like she said, I'm a civil engineer, and basically my title right now is a project engineer. Civil engineering is very broad. I would say it's probably one of the broadest engineering disciplines that you can be. Basically, it could be anything from a general civil engineer to construction management, structural engineering, water resources, environmental. There are many different disciplines of a civil engineer. Basically, I chose the path of construction management. So I'm working for a local construction company here in Pittsburgh, PA, as a project engineer on a project. So basically, that consists of a lot of different roles of construction management. So basically, we're a general contractor that oversees a project that hires a bunch of subcontractors to build the job. So basically, a project, if you're on the buildings group, then you're building like a hospital or apartment buildings or something like that. There's so many different components that go into the building that we could never as a company be able to have the expertise to build every single aspect of that job. So basically, we hire subcontractors to come in who specialize in, say, plumbing or electrical or masonry. And we basically oversee all those subcontractors and coordinate with them to make sure that they're building off of the right drawings, documents, make sure that they're coordinating with other subs. Like basically, when can the mason come in, and when do they need to be done in order to allow, say, maybe the electrician to come in and install their conduit and run it through the masonry, we'll say, as an example. So basically, we're kind of like the middleman between the owner, the architect, and the subcontractors. So we're kind of the coordinator between all of those groups.
So what are some skills that make you particularly good at being an engineer in construction?
So engineers, we have to think differently. Engineers just are kind of a different breed. Basically, you have to be very detail-oriented, thorough, precise in your work. It's a very detail-oriented business. You have to pay attention to all the details, and you have to think differently and envision things that maybe you can't see. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is you have to be able to look at a drawing and say, okay, when you're an architect or you design something, you can put anything on paper, but when it comes to actually building it, it's a different story. You can put anything on paper, but to actually make it work takes a lot of coordination amongst engineers, subcontractors, and the trades to make something actually work and function. Currently, the job that I'm on is a larger job, so we have multiple project engineers. On a normal job, you may only have one, and that project engineer is responsible for all the PE responsibilities. On our job, since it's a larger job, I have a more specialized, specific role on this project. Basically, my title is Document Control PE Project Engineer. So I get all the fun stuff with all the paperwork and all the documents.
What kinds of things should a student in high school do, either with their coursework academically or for their extracurricular activities, to help them prepare to be an engineer in construction?
So I would recommend in high school taking any type of CAD or Revit course that your school may offer. When I was in school, I took all the CAD and Revit classes. Even though I'm not doing anything with CAD or Revit currently, it's just a good skill to have and to be able to know, because you could become a civil engineer and you might like the design side. You might want to be on design side or get into architecture or something like that. So it's beneficial, even if you would want to go follow a path more like what I've done with construction management opposed to design. It's still a good skill to have. And there are cases where we do have to use CAD on our job or be able to analyze it. I would say also any kind of construction, maybe if you have a construction management course, take that, or even any kind of wood shop classes. I can't remember the exact name of the course that I took in high school, but it was basically it was a wood shop, but basically we did different types of construction skills and learned the ins and outs of some carpentry and things like that. So anything like that is definitely beneficial for this field. And just because you're an engineer, you should know a lot, or at least some, about construction in general and like how things work, how things are built. You want to be able to learn that, just not implement it, through documents and such, but you actually want to understand, like, how is that being built? Why is it that way? Why is it being built in that order? It's all about timing too, with the different subcontractors, who goes first and why that order. So it's good to understand all those things. So any type of wood shop would also be very beneficial for this field.
What kinds of questions should people ask themselves if they're thinking about either becoming a civil engineer or they think they might want to do work in construction?
So one question I would ask yourself is are you willing to, or does the idea of every day being different appeal to you? Or are you more of a person that's kind of like a routine where every day is the same, you're kind of doing the same thing? With construction, every day is different. There's always something new coming up, some new challenge to figure out. Everything's constantly changing. Another question to ask yourself is maybe, say civil engineering isn't specifically for you, but construction interests you. I would say if you're interested in construction, but engineering is not for you, what interests you? Are you interested in carpentry, electrical, HVAC, plumbing? There are so many different disciplines of engineering or of construction. There's a lot of different options. And maybe even you say, well, I don't know if college is for me, but construction interests me. There's definitely a route to take with the trades and the apprentices. And, you can go to school basically to become a carpenter and say, while you're becoming a carpenter, they're actually paying you to work while you're learning. So it goes hand in hand. It actually works out very well. If that's more or less like, if you want to be more hands-on and out there actually physically building the project, being in the trades might be something you should consider.
What's one piece of advice you would give to someone who's aspiring to be either an engineer or in construction?
I would say one piece of advice would be to be prepared for new challenges every day. You're going to be faced with new challenges and issues, and you have to be willing to be proactive and be able to solve these problems. I work with guys that are close to retirement, and they've told me still to this day, after working in the industry for 40 years, they're still seeing things they've never seen before. So every day is a new challenge. There's always a problem to be solved, and you have to be willing to be a problem solver and have that mindset.
Thank you for sharing your experiences and thoughts with us, Baily.
For more information or to learn about other careers in the Career Journey series, visit our website and check back soon for our next installment. Thanks!